My name is Mario Belmonte,
I'm Colette Piz.
and we are going to analyze the British influence upon the Egyptian societies in the 1940s throughout Mahfouz's novel Medak Ali. At the given time, the political and military tensions in Egypt were high due to the British troops defending their territory post-World War II.
Egypt became a democratic republic in 1953. In the events leading up to this, the clashes between the Egyptian and the British cultures were peaking until Egypt's independence. However, we first need to understand the author's inspirations in order to extract as much cultural information from the novel. Medak Ali reflects the evolution of modern Egyptian society. Mahfouz's early exposure to Western literature and his previous Arabic stylistic writing influenced his development to expose different cultural interactions. His lifelong interest in democratic politics and social justice can be seen within the text, more specifically to protagonists of Medak Ali being Hussein Kirsha and Abbas, who show greatest impacts of the British cultural upbringings.
Hussein and Abbas were the main two characters who were mainly attracted by the British influence and who saw the opportunity to gain wealth by working for the British. The impression given by Hussein is that he tries to detach himself from his race, and he proudly says to Abbas, the Corporal Union once told me that the only difference between me and the British is that of color. And he says that in page 34, and this shows that he desires to possess British qualities. The standard by which he defines himself is not of a person of his own race, but rather of a Westerner, revealing his valuing of Afghan culture over the one of which he grew up with. Not only does he aspire to live his life differently than other people in the alley do, but he also feels proud of acting more like a British man than an Arabic one, effectively demonstrating that he has better preference for Western cultures than Arabic cultures.
Hussein considered the British occupation to be a positive occurrence because new jobs were being offered as a result, and people could gain access to wealth that had been previously unknown to them, which was the reason why he joined the British and went to work for them. After Hussein leaves the alley to work for the British, his new wealth affords him undreamed of luxuries. That's from page 33, instilling in his mind a belief that the war is a blessing, which was said on page 36. Even in the alley itself, the nuisances brought by the British were more advanced in some cases. The action of having a modern object could be a way to make money. For example, in Medak Ali it says, we know all the stories you tell by heart and we don't need to run through them again. People today don't want a poet. They keep asking me for a radio and there's one over there being installed now, so go away and leave us alone and may God provide you. That was said on page 6 by Kirsha to a street poet.
However, after Hussein came back from working with the British, he treated others offensively. Working with British soldiers had essentially caused him to attempt to erase his lifelong cultural identity and replace it with a Western sense of being. When interacting with people who he grew up with, meaning the ones in the alley, he was extremely condescending and self-imposed superiority. He says it's a filthy house, the alley stinks, and the people here are a cattle. He repeats that as talking to himself, he repeats that, and yeah, essentially that's messed up, but that's for page 13, 113.
Even though Kirsha enjoyed modernisation brought by the British, he disliked those who worked for them and adopted their culture. Given that Mr. and Mrs. Kirsha remained true to their Arabic culture, when Hussein tells them the whole point is that I want to live a different life. Why many of my friends even live in a house that has the electricity. And then he goes on by saying, all my friends live the modern way. They all become gentlemen, as they say in English. And that was quoted from page 116. They begin to reflect this disrespect for Hussein. Specifically, his father Kirsha, who says all dogs like you brought up deprived and starving go mad when they get money in their pockets. Now that you have money from the British, it's only natural you want to lead another life, more appropriate to your lordship's position. And that was said on page 115.
Kirsha's disrespect is not only because Hussein spoke aggressively and harmfully, but also because he feels as his son betrayed his culture and chose to deny his identity to build a foreign one on his own.
Effectively, all these examples mentioned briefly represent the struggles caused by the British influence upon the Arabic native culture of Midakali in both social and political scales.
Thank
you.